Welcome back to the Angus Report. I'm here with Dr. Dan Mosier, the newly named president of Angus Genetics Incorporated and director of performance programs for the American Angus Association. Dan, we're talking about the future of genetic evaluation in the cattle business. Let's go back and talk about the evolution of where this evaluation has taken place through the years. Initially, it started at the university level, and now it's conducted in places like Angus Genetics Incorporated.
Sure. Yeah, that in the beginning that genetic evaluation of these kind of data sets was really a research question. And so institutions like Iowa State with Dr. Willem, the University of Georgia, where I was in grad school at that time, was doing the Angus evaluation. Dr. Wilson was involved with Iowa State later on, but later was brought in-house and when Angus Genetics Incorporated was formed. And I think that's the model that's been adopted really throughout the livestock industry now, to have the genetic evaluation where the database resides, that it's not as much of a research question, and so it's not necessarily the best use of time for university researchers to be running those what have become somewhat routine evaluations. Not that we're not in making enhancements, and we certainly work with university partners to do those sort of things. But at the same time, I think the logical place where we can provide the best service, the most consistent results and the most accurate results is right here where the Angus database resides here with Angus Genetics Incorporated.
And that information that AGI then provides to breeders, how is that then used at the ranch level?
Sure. For a commercial producer then, whether they buy their bulls private treaty or through an auction, they'll see genomically enhanced EPDs. And they may not even know that they're genomically enhanced because there's not necessarily a label that says so. But if they will have higher accuracy values if they have the genomic information incorporated into them. But those then are used in their decision-making process to select the bulls to go into their breeding operations, and in some cases purchase semen for use in AI. Then that is the way that they will then use that information into their operation to improve their own herds. Another opportunity, of course, that commercial producers have is with the GE-EPD products to be able to also do some genomic testing on their own commercial population. So if they have Angus-based females that they'd like to make a replacement heifer selection, for example, GE-EPD is a powerful tool to help them decide which of those heifers might be the most opportune for selection.
And then that information then that AGI provides, it all starts at that seed stock level on the ranch and some of the information that's submitted.
Yeah, absolutely. That as much as we talk about genomics, that the data is just essential. And the data is more important than it ever has been, because not only now is the data used to describe the animals and used in those evaluations, but the parameters for the DNA tests are all built on the data and the pedigrees. And so it's more important than ever that producers continue to submit calving E-scores and birth weights and yearling weights and ultrasound measurements and those sort of things. That this isn't a replacement for the record-keeping systems that have been so successful for so many years. Rather, this is an enhancement to add accuracy and just another source of information.
And in regard to genomic data, there's also applications for some of those more difficult to measure traits as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the traits like fertility, cow longevity, those have been the last to be incorporated into our traditional genetic evaluations. They're the lowest in heritability, and so to some extent they're the hardest to improve, but yet those traits have huge economic importance. If we can improve conception rate or cow longevity by even 1% or 2%, the impact on the bottom line of a commercial cattle operation is just tremendous. And so one of the objectives that we have at AGI is to try to encourage more reporting of cow longevity data, cow inventory, being involved in the program called Maternal Plus. It's a great opportunity for producers to document the inherent fertility in their herds, to show the information in terms of which cows stay in their herd longer, those sort of things, complete pregnancy data. As we get greater participation in Maternal Plus, we'll be able to develop some really neat selection tools like cow longevity EPDs or enhance accuracy to heifer pregnancy.
And you mentioned the commercial side of the business and GE-EPD specifically. Talk about this in the context of we're entering a phase of herd expansion. How are these tools important?
Oh, sure. I think that as producers are going to be retaining more heifers, we're going to see expansion, that having the right information to make those selection decisions is going to be more important than ever. Cattle obviously have more value than they've had in a long time. For producers that have good information, there's obviously a tremendous opportunity for marketing those animals, to be able to, as there is a greater demand for replacement females, to have the documentation behind them so that they command a premium in the marketplace.
Well, and there's a lot of areas of expansion, as you mentioned before, and we'll continue to discuss some of that on the research level when we return with our discussion with Dr. Dan Mosier of Angus Genetics Incorporated.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Alticid IGR Feed-Through Fly Control. Reduce horn flies by feeding Alticid for 30 days past the first frost to keep flies from overwintering. Learn more at alticidigr.com.
At 44 Farms, we believe customers are the #1 priority. That's why our breeding program is designed for calving ease, growth efficiency, maternal traits, and the end product value. And visit us during the 44 Farms Fall Sale, October 25th in Cameron, Texas, selling 350 balanced trait performance bulls, 15 donor prospects, and 40 open heifers from the heart of the 44 replacement heifers, and ready to breed. Stop by the ranch at any time for a preview of the sale cattle. 44 Farms, your trusted source for Angus Genetics. Join the team, the Beef Quality Assurance Team. Getting BQA certified shows you're committed to practices that produce the highest quality beef in the world. And by visiting BQA.org, you can take the online certification course at a time that fits your schedule and from the comfort of your home or office. You'll also find lots of helpful tips on improving animal health and animal handling practices. Get certified, BQA certified, because it's about doing the right thing. Visit BQA.org today and become a member of the BQA team.
Working your cattle just got easier. Introducing the new VetGun delivery system, a new way to apply topical insecticides to your cattle. The VetGun lets you remotely treat cattle with effective parasite control, so you can do it from an ATV, on horseback, or just walking among the herd. It's that simple. The proven topical insecticide AML VetCap is used with the VetGun. It works fast to control horn flies and lice while minimizing stress on your cattle. Fast, easy, effective. VetGun. Check with your animal health supplier for availability.
Your herd, your business, your family. You've always protected what matters most, so you know how important vaccinations are for healthy cattle. And with Vista vaccines from Merck Animal Health, you know you're covered. No other vaccine works like Vista. Only Vista gives you complete dual-action pneumonia protection and complete one-dose fetal protection for the entire pregnancy. Protect what matters most. Talk to your veterinarian or animal health supplier about Vista.